The mind. Have you ever felt someone's playing with your mind? If so, you might be interested in what we're about to explain. The first thing we're going to talk about is subliminal messages.
Okay, well, subliminal messages is an effect stimuli where where information is captured from your brain, but you don't get aware of that information. This is because the information only gets to the lower brain, but it never gets to the cortex, where the things are made conscious. So, what this stimuli makes it is in our mind is that it creates new patterns that affect our decision making later. For example, in publicity, they most of the time use things related to sex, drugs, food, fear, and violence, because these are the things that most of the time sell more. This is obviously created to target our subconscious minds. So this is in the case of visual stimuli effect, but in the case of auditory stimuli effect, they most of the time use like songs where they are mixed like words that they want you to capture. For example, there was a study where the people where they mix like don't play in the ground, and they mix it with a song and they put it where people were like in a playground. And it was like seen that they didn't play in the ground because the subliminal message that was into the song, well, the message that they mixed with the song, was captured from their lower brain. So it was used in the stores to decrease the thefts. So it decreased 50%, and to increase the sales, and it increased 50%. It is also related to satanical music, which is not proof that it affects our lower brain. So it is just things that they say but are not real. And for example, it was a study where the people were made like students who fail math exams. They were put like visual subliminal stimulations where there was like little letters that said, "Each day I'm getting better in math." And they didn't know about it, but then they made like a month before or after that subliminal messages, and they did get better in the grade. So it does affect the decision making. And for example, here, in the presentation that we are going to send you, because here it doesn't work, but there are like many publicity that where they use, for example, in the Skittle ones, it is put like sex explosion, here the word sex, and in all of them there is like something that it is a subliminal message. In viewers, it affects like in a way that you want something, or they create a desire to buy the product. And in kids, most of the time it always works because the kids are usually go for how the advertisement looks, or how the things that it is said in the advertisement in order to buy the product. So good because most of the time kids take like the publicity as a way of information source. And this is like mass hypnosis, because when you are shown this publicity or you hear this song, you don't get conscious of it after you are like waking up, like in a hypnosis. Waking up, it's like when they say, oh, haven't you seen like these things? And you notice them when they tell you, but before it, you don't notice them. So it's like when in hypnosis, you just sleep and you don't know that you're asleep until you wake up and you realize they make this hypnosis. But, well, Kendra is going to explain more about this hypnosis tip.
When you hear the word hypnosis, you might picture the stereotypical hypnotist figure of a man waving a pocket watch, guiding his subject into a semi-sleep, zombie-like state, where he is compelled to obey every order, no matter how strange it is. However, this shows little resemblance to actual hypnotism, because actual hypnotism, the subject has total free will, and is not totally asleep. It's more like hyper-attentive, which means he has deeply focused attention but can only focus on one thing at a time. And that's why he or she can have spontaneous or random thoughts when hypnotized. What happens in the brain is that, well, a theory says that the brain's cognitive systems communicate. These cognitive systems is what allows people to process information, categorize information, and create associations. During hypnosis, the brain is more susceptible to suggestion, which means the person undergoing hypnosis is more likely to follow orders. Nowadays, in modern psychology, hypnosis is also used as a therapeutic technique because psychologists and clinicians use it to relax the patient and to make them focus their minds. This hypnosis is very effective in, for example, helping them with pain, anxiety, and mood disorders. And hypnosis also works to go into the unconscious mind where some alleged truths and insights have taken up residence. Because of this, the police also use hypnosis because some of the subjects who undergo hypnosis are victims of or witnesses to a crime. So the police encourage them to undergo hypnosis to help them remember some specific details from their experiences. But also, this has to be done really carefully because if the sessions are not correctly or made by experts, the hypnosis can implant false memories instead of drawing out the true ones. And the last thing is about self-hypnosis. Self-hypnosis, as the word says, is the process of hypnotism which is self-induced. The self-hypnosis can work for a person to help with anxiety, pain, reduce, like obesity, bad habits, and once this practice is mastered, they can also use it for having a better memory, more focused attention, and to even control their emotions. When people want to perform self-hypnosis, it's very important that they follow 4 steps. The step 1 is relaxation, motivation. If there's not the proper motivation, one won't be able to make the self-hypnosis. Number 2 is relaxation. The individual who's going to perform the self-hypnosis has to be totally relaxed and eliminate every distraction because the full attention is needed. And